Happy Thursday, folks. So I want to talk about some. I've got a image up here on. It's probably going to be a thumbnail you're seeing, but I was watching two Delta guys on former Delta guys on it's called Black and Blue podcast, and that's Kyle Morgan's podcast. So there's two guys, two Delta guys, former Delta guys. So Kyle, he's 36, 37, somewhere around there, late 30s. And then there's Pat McNamara. And I don't know these gents well, but I know at least a little history on Pat is that he's an older guy and more wisdom. And he's like the trainer of trainers and all that kind of stuff. Like you talk about deadly with a weapon. So crazy stuff. So, but that's not the point. These guys are both godly men, and they both came to faith at their own, just like most of us, in their own way. And whether you're raised around it, faith or in faith or whatnot, you're going to have your own. I like the line from Jesus that here the hearts are still going to break and bones are still going to break, that kind of thing. So it's not like some magic show where everything is all now better, and that's not real. Like life is not real. So that sort of thing. So, or life isn't that way. Real life isn't that way. So I'm looking over here because I just want to preface this. So I got a couple quotes from these guys, really just talking about being godly men. And so it's Kyle's podcast, and he's interviewed, and it's Black and Blue podcast, episode number 41. I highly recommend you go watch this. And so Kyle, he was, I don't know how many years he served, but he was medically retired. So both these guys are technically retired guys. And Kyle says, if you don't know where you're going, any road will do. Pat says, well, my objective is to take care of me so that I can take care of my family. And he continues on saying, who's to get in the way of that? Nobody and nothing. And Kyle layers onto it that I'm the only one who is going to rob me of that. It doesn't matter when we came to the conclusion, because most of us do, right? It takes us a while to come to that conclusion that we're in charge of our own life. And then he continues and he says, but it does matter what we do once we have found it. And then they go on and start talking about being where your feet are. So these are all lines from like a biblical format. And Kyle had said on a previous podcast that the best part of his service was being around people who were faith-based, that were rooted in faith. And it's really nice watching these guys banter back and forth. And same thing with like him and, Sean Ryan and Mike Drop and stuff like that, that these guys, me included, folks, are all coming to this stuff at some point in time in our life, that even though we are, I don't call it like tier 1, tier 2, because I'm not one of those guys. I'm a former infantry dude turned medevac pilot, but there are small groups of really good people who are biblically good. And Jesus says, know them by their fruit, right? So know them by their fruit. So, and a lot of us come to faith later, and we are used to having our buddies and our camaraderie, and then we get out or we come to faith, or we just don't understand somebody else's faith. We don't have and these guys, Kyle and Pat, were talking about that manliness is humility. And it's humble enough to go to somebody who's a little better than you are. And these guys were talking about that they were playing around on the range before the podcast, and that you're going to make mistakes. Again, Jesus says, here in this realm, hearts are still going to break, bones are still going to break. So to Pat's point, saying that you're going to make mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, if you think you're doing perfect shooting or perfect whatever, and I have a VA point to that, like 100% permit total. That's my point to the story today too. So if these people out there think that they're perfect, you're not. And there's always something more that you should do. And even if you are, I'm not calling it perfect, but present, even if you are present, that you know that you want to do more. And that presence is knowing that you want to help people more. And so my point in bringing this up today is because I've been 100% permanent total now for almost 7 years. And I have, through God's grace, been able to deliver over $10 billion to the deadliest humans on the planet. And when I go to, it's right over my head here, Soft Week and stuff like this, when I go to those events, I get hugs from these guys and they say, God bless you, Albert, keep going. You're the only one out there who cares about us. So they're humble. And we're all humble together. And I love to go to as many of those shows as I possibly can to rinse and repeat, because another slide and another conversation that we're going to have on another video is when you know something, you're supposed to do something about it. And that's also where these guys were talking about. Pat and Kyle were talking about that's why Kyle used that line. His line is be where your feet are, because that's what you're supposed to do. Be present. And that's when I'm on camera, I know that I want to reach 20 million of you that are alive right now, plus your family. And I want to, shake the shit out of you and just say, hey man, wow, are you worth a lot of money? And it's God's promise to you. You've already earned, and it's harvest time. I want to throw all that in your face, but that's not real. Again, Jesus would say that's not real. What's real is the 1 or 2 people that jump on, the 12 people that watch this stuff. That it's fine. It makes me feel good that anybody at all sees this, or it's out there, because that's what my Jesus tells us. Fling seeds. Don't water them. Don't stare at them. Don't keep it in your pocket. Fling seeds. So that's me flinging seeds. That's what I'm saying. I'm being present by talking to you today about things that I know. And if you think that I just want to help you bring some humility, because I'm telling you, 2 of the deadliest humans had a conversation on episode 41, Pat McNamara and Kyle Morgan on the Black and Blue podcast. Go watch it, episode number 41. And these 2 killers of killers were talking about being a godly man and taking care of yourself, and that in a way that takes care of your family, because God gives us our little kingdoms, our little families to shepherd and to try to think of another word in there. I'll come back to it, but we're supposed to take care of our stuff, and that's including ourselves. And even today, I'm going to open my Bible up, because even today, my daily devotion was talking about, in essence, the fruit, right, of the flesh. So things, negative stuff, right? So sexual immorality and witchcraft and stuff like that. Like, I'm not a witch, but I've had fits of rage or something by being mad at myself because I didn't know about Proverbs and all that kind of stuff, self ambition and so on and so on, and drunkenness and stuff. And like, I know a lot of folks struggle with those things, and that, again, God doesn't want us to be perfect. He does want us to be present. And that's what I'm being present in front of you guys right now, is I'm being present, that I know stuff that will help you, but you have to, Proverbs would say, do something about it. You have to do something about it. And in Proverbs, God talks about, or it says that God detests unfair scales. Well, go look at the VA chart system and stuff like that when it talks about, 50 plus 50 equals 30 in their math. So that, and you guys are supposed to have money for yourself and your family and the people above you and the people next to you and the people, like, multiple generations of your family. So my point to saying all that is, when people come to me and and even folks have registered for an event, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I host a monthly event. I just started doing it again. I took a season off to always do that when it's the right time, and now I'm back. And so I'm hosting every month on LinkedIn, and it's through Zoom. So it's LinkedIn and Zoom. So you can register on both. My point is, I talk to you about what you've earned, and I tell you the 3 promises. That number 1, God's promise for your abundance and fulfillment. The second is you've already served, or you're serving now. Therefore, you've earned money that you can have access to, and life-changing money, by the way. Never let me leave that baby out. Number 3, as Proverbs would say, it's harvest time. It takes teamwork to make that dream work. All right. And I know that. You now know that. And like Kyle is saying over here, Kyle Morgan, I'm the only one who's going to rob that. So my point back to you guys is, do a little self-assessment. Go in the mirror and say, who is robbing me of my God-given entitlement? Not like blue hair entitlement. I'm talking, you've earned this money and the government is taking it from you. And it is, when you find out the amount of money it is very shocking, negatively shocking. But it's over $1 trillion a year is not going to the people it's supposed to go to. That's how much, $1 trillion a year. I said $1 trillion. Okay. And if you want to know the worst of it, it's widows. Go anywhere where there's widows and just listen to them moan and groan. And you're going to know why. Because their former husband did not take care of them, themselves or their family. So I hate to say it that way, but yeah, when you, there's a coin toss, guys. You can have pride, but when you win, winners are humble. Winners are humble. So when you flip that coin over to humility and you go, oh, what have I earned and who can I do it with and how can I help others? Because you're supposed to every day fling seeds. If you know something, like I was on a live call with a guy yesterday on camera, and I said, hey, brother, if your house was on fire, I would tell you. I would look over your shoulder and say, hey, Rob, your house is on fire. Make sure you call me when you get squared away in the next couple of seconds. I hope you do the same for me. If I'm on camera, I'd hope somebody call me, hey, your house is on fire. Actually, that happened. A guy on the 4th of July a couple years back, like, ran to my house. Never met him in my life. Ran over to my house, jumped over some fences, ran to my house. It's all on camera. And he screams at me around the corner, house is on fire. And I just instantly went into action and that kind of thing. Story for another time. But my point is, if he didn't tell me that, that's a lot of, on him, that's horrible, right? It didn't mean he had to help me, which he didn't. My son and I were able to put the fire out. So long story short, but like, it was close, man. It was like seriously one of those like 10-second moments. 10 more seconds went on, it would have been my entire house gone. So God puts us through tests for testimony. So guys, do something every day. If you know something, do something about it. So like I was telling you about my meeting yesterday with a LinkedIn consulting company. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I told them. They were saying, hey, Albert, here's what, when you're connecting with people, here's what the message would say. Hey, I'm Albert, and I do help out with VA stuff. And when you're out there, let me know that you need help with VA stuff. And I said, man, no, that's not me. That's not me. That's not Jesus. If you knew something life-saving, wouldn't you want to know about it right now? Guys, let me just start with these 3 things. It's on my website. It's been out there for a long time. These are 3 things that people say to me when they finally find me. Number 1, Albert, I wish I would have known you sooner. Secondly, I wish I would have known this sooner. Number 3, I wish I would have done this sooner. Okay? All 3 of those things people say to me. And that's not me boasting. I'm saying, thank God that's what people say to me. Albert, I wish I would have known you sooner. I wish I would have known this sooner. And I wish I would have done this sooner. Okay? Every time people say that. And you're going to say it too. And I'm happy to be part of that hug and journey with you. So trust me, it's not me talking down to you. It's me. I'm excited to help you. I'm excited to help you and show you a lot of stuff about life-changing money that you've earned for yourself and your family. And it's multi-generational. It's like biblical level. And that's why I say all things VA, ask me. I've got an opinion on all of it. And that's why I have my clients also represented by VA Accredited Veterans Rights Attorneys from the very beginning too. Nobody else out there is doing this stuff. So again, guys, I host a monthly briefing every month. It's on LinkedIn and Zoom. And between now and then, like, share, subscribe, do all the things that you know you're supposed to do. Get on my calendar today. Don't just get out there flinging seeds. It's yes and. Yes, go fling seeds. And get on my calendar. And start working towards the money that you've earned through your service, for yourself and your family. Get out there, everybody. That's living the godly life. And I know I've been talking about men today, but women, you too. So I know godly women are out there. So help your man become godly. God bless everybody. Talk to you all next one.